I want to go briefly over acoustic decay. So decay is a test that we use to look at the auditory reflex pathway and to evaluate the integrity of that circuitry. So it's also one of the ways that we help to identify possible retrocochlear lesions, which means that there is a pathology either on the auditory nerve or beyond the auditory nerve. So for decay, we usually want to use a contralateral measurement. That means that we present the tone in one ear and measure the reflex in the other. On this middle ear analyzer, I have a contralateral attachment, and it looks like that. It comes right off. And this is just a speaker. It just plays the tone, and then you'd still need to put the probe into the other ear. So I'm going to go ahead and try and do a test. So, I should also say for the portable audiometer, I don't think I have a contralateral attachment. So for that, not audiometer, sorry, that tympanometer. So for that tympanometer, you'll have to use a ipsilateral reflex. So for contralateral reflex decay, we can test either using 500 or 1000 hertz. And what we do is we present at a level 10 dB above the threshold of the acoustic threshold that you previously found. So here, my reflex is usually somewhere around 80 at 1000, so I went ahead and set it at 10 above, so at 90, and I changed it using this intensity level, and then you can change the frequency using the stimulus level, so I have it at 1000 hertz. So if you're doing ipsilateral decay, you'll need to present at 5 dB above the threshold, because it doesn't need to go as far on the pathway. That makes sense. It's covering less ground, so it doesn't need to be as loud of a presentation. So you can change on here, you can change which stimulus the ear, if you want ipsilateral or contralateral, clicking that. So I'm going to change it to contra, because that's going to be the test that I do. So I'm going to put the contralateral attachment, so this would be the stimulus, into my right ear. So I'm putting that into my right, and then I'm putting the probe tip into my left. So this is what we call a right contralateral decay, because it's always based off of which ear is being stimulated. So I'm putting that into my right, putting this into my left, and then we're going to run a test, or try to run a test, I guess. So I start by clicking start to equalize, to pressurize. And then I push present. Okay, and then I can push stop. I'm going to take those out. Okay. So what happened was it played a 1000 hertz tone at 90 dBHL for 10 seconds. And it measured the contraction of my stapedius muscle. So my stapedius muscle contracted and was able to stay contracted for the duration of the 10 seconds, which is what we want. That's what we call a negative decay. It means it's negative for possible retrocochlear. If it had deflected and then started creeping up, and if it creeped up within 50% of the initial deflection, that's what we call a positive decay. It's positive for possible retrocochlear. It means it wasn't able to sustain the contraction for the duration of the 10 seconds. So again, to clear it, you click here, clear, and then clear all. And that should be pretty much everything that you need to know for that.